The video review will start in a few seconds, but as a reminder, remember if you have a question, comment, or suggestion about this video review, the link is provided on the page below. Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3DGamingMan.com and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the SilverStone KL04 case. First, I'll do a really quick unbox. As you can see, there's lots of pictures of the product on the box, as well as plenty of features and specifications about it. Also, the box comes with a couple of holes on either side, great for carrying it. Now let me open it up. Comes with your typical case packaging material, styrofoam on either end, and the case itself is in a plastic bag. Now let me take it out and let's have a closer look. They include an accessory box, and in it they include a 5¼ inch to 3½ inch drive bay cover, USB cable, a bag full of cable ties, screws, motherboard standoffs, and a couple of brackets. These go on either side of a 3½ inch floppy drive or a 3½ inch hard drive, and these would get installed in the 5¼ inch drive bay. This is a mid-tower case. It's mainly comprised of steel, but there's some plastic, like for example the front bezel, which actually looks like aluminum, but it's plastic. Now the overall styling on this case is elegant, clean, and simple. Take a look at the front bezel. You'll see that there's no ventilation, a clean look. At the top there are two USB 3 ports, as well as a headphone and a microphone jack, and there's lots of ventilation. This top panel here comes off. Just pull out the back to reveal one included 120mm intake fan, and you can install another 120 or 140mm optional fan at the back. At the front, there's four 5¼ inch drive bays. Here's the power button, reset button, as well as the power LED and hard drive activity LED. And the SilverStone logo is at the bottom. On this model, the left side panel is plain, but there is another model available that has a very large window. The right side panel has lots of ventilation, and this actually pops right off and doubles as a dust filter. They include one 120mm intake fan, but you can also install another 120mm fan. At the back of the case there are a couple of holes. These are for routing water cooling tubes and or cables through. They include a 120mm exhaust fan. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed. Lots of extra ventilation, and 8 ventilated expansion slots. Also, at the bottom is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed, and they include 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. The inside of the case is black. They also include lots of cable management holes on the motherboard tray. Also on the motherboard tray is a large hole, and this is for the cooler's retention plate, and it is an enormous time saver. There are also punch outs on the back of the motherboard tray to organize the cables, and by the way, there's lots of space behind the motherboard tray and the right side panel for organizing cables. But unfortunately, the motherboard tray is not removable. The 4 5¼ inch drive bays have a toolless design. Now there are a number of different drive configurations, but mainly you can put up to 9 3½ inch drives in this removable hard drive cage, and to remove it, all you need to do is remove 4 screws, 2 at the top and 2 more at the bottom, and then pull, install the drives, and push it back in again. You can also install up to 6 2½ inch drives on this drive bay cage. Another optional 120mm fan can be installed at the bottom. At the bottom, they include a couple of rubber rests for the power supply to lodge on. Power supply length will vary. It will go from around 160 to 180 up to 320mm. It all depends on if you have the 2½ inch drive cage there and or the fan installed. The maximum video card length will be approximately 320mm with some room to spare at the end, and the maximum cooler height will be approximately 160mm. At the bottom, they include 4 plastic feet as well as 2 removable dust filters. Both of these just slide out. The one right here is for the power supply, and this one is for the optional bottom fan. With the right side panel removed, you can get a better look at the back of the motherboard tray, and you'll note all of the cable management holes, as well as the punch outs for organizing cables. Finally, have a listen to the stock cooling. Now, there are many mid-tower cases on the market, and this one for the most part has exactly what you should be looking for when you are purchasing a mid-tower case. However, what this one has that's different than many of the others is its look. If you like a clean, simple, elegant look at an affordable price, this is certainly it. Overall, this is a great product. Until next time, take care.